Hey, a playa, in your life you might encounter experiences where you might want to talk about something but you might be too afraid to, afraid of people's judgment or afraid of getting rejected in some kind of way. Don't worry, in this video I'm going to explain 5 situations where you should be talking about your feelings and what's going on and why it's totally normal to do so. For those of you that are new here, my name is Josh and every single week I make videos sharing tips, ideas, and stories teaching you how to be your best self. So if you want to learn and grow, hit the subscribe button and make sure to click on the notification bell. The first situation I wanted to go over here was talking about who you like. There are so many people that are scared to let that information get out there, to have their friends know or their classmates or even their crush themselves, simply because they feel like if their crush knows that they like them, that's the end of the road. It's one thing to have feelings for someone, but to have them know is a whole other level. It means that you actually have to do something about those feelings now. Your crush is going to be waiting to see, are you going to continue to pursue them or are you going to back away? And depending on how you respond is probably how they're going to feel about you too. I think for a lot of people, that fear of letting that information get out comes down to just not feeling ready, not feeling like you have things under control. Maybe you're not close enough to your crush just yet, or maybe you just don't know what to say when you're in their presence. You want to develop that confidence first before you let that information get out, and then even then, you may not even want to let it get out because maybe it's just a crush that you don't want to act on. If you're in that sticky situation, here's my honest advice. A lot of people want to tell their crush how they feel when I believe you should show them how you feel. Sometimes it may feel easier to just confess your feelings, to get them out there, to just let your crush know how you feel in any way possible. And the way to show them how you feel is by actively talking to them, engaging in conversations, learning about their interests and hobbies, and asking them to hang out. The more time you spend with them one-on-one, the greater chance you'll have of actually developing something there. And while that sounds easy enough to do, life is a little bit more complex. You might have your friends breathing down your neck telling you to go pursue your crush, or just trying to figure out who you like, or you might have your crush directly asking you questions like, hey, who do you have a crush on? Or trying to figure out where you stand. In those situations, I think the best thing to do is to be honest with yourself. You lose nothing from outright saying, yeah, I think this person's pretty cool and I want to get to know them better. Because to me, that is the way more confident approach than to mislead someone or to lie about it or to pretend like you don't like anyone. The second thing you should never be afraid to talk about is your mental health. How are you feeling inside? What are you dealing with? A lot of times we lock those feelings away and it's not a healthy thing to do. And that leads us to today's sponsor, BetterHelp. BetterHelp is an online professional counseling service that's accessible, affordable, and convenient to anyone worldwide. So if you're struggling with life's challenges, you can get help anytime and anywhere. I know how difficult it can be sometimes to talk to people about your thoughts and your feelings and just what you're going through. Sometimes speaking to a counselor or a therapist is the best thing that you can do because they're going to help you process those feelings and find solutions to kind of work through them in your life. You can use BetterHelp anywhere, on your computer, on your phone. The sign-up process is pretty easy. All you have to do is fill out a few different questions, kind of detailing what you're going through and what your experience is like, and BetterHelp will match you with a professional that's specific to the thing that you need help with. As a society, we're making progress towards being more open and vulnerable about how we feel, and I think that's a positive step to take. So with the service like BetterHelp, that allows you to recognize that having mental health issues or talking about your own mental health issues is totally normal. In fact, I've signed up for BetterHelp myself, I filled out the questionnaire, and I was matched with a professional pretty quickly. So I'm going to start doing my own sessions on BetterHelp fairly soon. I recognize for myself sometimes that I get stressed out and overwhelmed with all the things that I do. So talking to a therapist about my experiences and my feelings is going to help me process it a lot better. I don't want to be scared to talk about my own mental health, and I don't think you should be either. I'm going to have the link down below so you can check out BetterHelp using my special code. But remember, if you're in a crisis type of situation, something that you need immediate help for, I'm going to have links down there as well for you to check out because I think taking care of yourself is the most important thing that you can do. When we talk about talking about things and sharing things with people, you have to put yourself first. If you're not doing that, everything else is going to collapse. The third situation, you should never be afraid to talk about something that makes you feel uncomfortable, whether it's something someone says or something someone's doing. Sharing your feelings and expressing when you have that sense of discomfort inside is so important. Think about it like this. Have you ever been in a situation where someone said something that made you feel incredibly uncomfortable, but you didn't want to say anything about it because it would make the situation awkward or weird? No one else seemed to have a problem with it, and by you bringing something up, you were just going to create create problems. I know how difficult it can be to challenge the status quo, to speak your mind against someone who's an authority or who's more popular than you simply because you feel like your voice is inconsequential compared to theirs. But the only way to learn and grow is to challenge those uncomfortable and difficult positions, to ask questions, to learn more, to never just say okay to things that you know you're not okay with. Maybe it's telling a close friend that you don't think it's cool that they pick on you and call you names. Or maybe it's telling someone that does things or flirts with you in some kind of way that makes you feel uncomfortable that you want them to stop. Either way, it's important to stand up for yourself. No one has more power over your body and your life than you do, and you have to make that clear in every interaction you have. You might want to say something like, hey, when you do this thing, it makes me feel incredibly uncomfortable. So can you not do that anymore around me or to me? I know that person's going to probably challenge you and they're going to tell you you're making it a bigger deal than it is, but it's important for you to stand your ground. Let that person know how you feel, because if you don't, they're just going to continue to walk all over you. Number 4, you should never be afraid to ask questions about things that you don't understand. It's only through asking questions and learning more about it that you're going to feel comfortable and secure with whatever it is you're trying to understand. I know sometimes the idea of raising your hand in class and saying, hey, I'm completely lost, I have no clue what's going on, can seem kind of weird because you think everyone's going to look at you and judge you, but it's important for you to pursue that mystery, pursue the unknown, pursue the thing that you are curious about. Maybe that's talking to your teacher after class so you can set up some kind of tutoring session with them, or maybe it's just approaching your friends and seeing if you can form a study group so you can understand the materials a little bit better. Either way, it's better for you to kind of take those proactive steps than to continue falling behind out of shame. Or another situation where you may not understand what's going on is when you're getting mixed signals from someone. Let's say you like someone and you want to know if they like you back. Instead of looking into all the little small details like they looked at me, they smiled at me, they winked at me, they touched their hair, they did all these different things, it's better for you to go deeper into asking questions. But I personally think that while you're playing that waiting game, you're letting so much time pass so that if your crush did like you and they were giving you signs, you haven't acted on them in any way. You haven't asked any questions like, hey, do you want to hang out? Hey, what's your favorite movie? Hey, what do you like to do for fun? Anything. So nothing's really developed between you two. And really, talking about something you don't understand is recognizing that you don't have all the answers. It's to put aside your ego and to say, hey, there's something I could learn here and I just need to go deeper into it. And the 5th thing you should never be afraid to talk about is when you see someone else struggling. It can be easy sometimes to turn a blind eye, to just ignore the problems that someone else is facing, because if you don't get involved, you don't have to do anything about it. But the truth is this: every single person has a deep desire to be loved and understood for who they are. And sometimes just having someone there to ask us, hey, are you okay? Is there anything I can do to help you? Is what we need. When it comes to helping people, one of the issues we run into is that we ask ourselves, what can I personally do to stop this person's suffering? And instead, we should be thinking about it like this: what can I do to help guide this person to the resources that they need so they can figure out a solution for what they're going through? Each and every single one of us has what it takes to be a caring guide in someone else's life. Sometimes that means just sitting there and listening to them while they talk and vent to you. Other times it might be actively finding things online and sharing it with them. Either way, it's going to mean everything to that person to know that you are in their corner, that you really care about them and you want to see them succeed. And I want to mention BetterHelp here again because it's an amazing resource to share with someone that you know that is struggling. If that person's a little hesitant about talking to a therapist in person, they can always do it online. They can have video chats, they can have phone calls, they can have texting back and forth through BetterHelp. It's an amazing service to really recommend to someone who really needs that help. At the end of the day, the greatest gift that you can ever give is your honest self. That's the only way people are going to come to respect you and value what you have to share with them. Be open to learning, be open to listening, be open to changing your mind and speaking your mind when you see it's necessary. Now, what I want you to do is check out the video over here where I share 5 words that you should never ever say. And if you want, also check out the link I put over here for BetterHelp. I think it's a service worth checking out, guys, especially if you're someone that's dealing with a lot and you need someone to talk to. BetterHelp is the best way to do that. On that note, guys, I'll catch you next time. As always, love and peace.